Bill. This is Bob.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Okay.
How the show's going on a tour so far? How do you feel about it?
They're okay. We kind of missed a plane going into Tucson, but other than that, they've been all right.
How's the show?
Audience response?
Yeah.
The audience response has been okay with me. As far as this audience has been good, really. Maybe even better than last time.
How's your show changed since the last time?
Well, it's the same show, but it just has more songs thrown in throughout it. The playlist.
I see. You've gone back a few years.
Back a bunch of years.
It seemed to me that I read that you had decided not to do any of those old songs anymore. Was that true, or was that?
Yeah. It was for. It was last time we went out on the road. I was only doing the songs from Slow Train Coming and Saved, which hadn't been recorded at the time.
Right.
It seemed to be what I needed to do at the time.
I remember your the ad campaign that preceded your last tour, in which people discussed. It was a kind of a man on the street thing, and people discussed their reactions to.
Oh yeah.
It seems like your career has been that kind of a situation all along. When you went electric, I mean, there were people that were real upset about it. And
yeah.
Do you see any kind of parallel between that kind of reaction and having to deal with the audience and here as opposed to, say, Forest Hills and 65? As a
yeah, there's some similarities, but I never really sensed too much of the people. I think a lot of it was made out of that, which actually, if you were there, it wasn't the case at all. It kind of got distorted in the news, and like that Newport Folk Festival, when we were playing at that time, there really wasn't a whole lot of booing, or there was some, but if you talk to people who were there at the time, they'll tell you a different story than the legendary thing that has gone down.
Yeah, that you left the stage and
there
were
were some
crying
definite
and
sound problems, things which never got into the news. There were a lot of different elements which you can say, oh yeah, well he got booed, and just leave it like that. But it was a little more complicated than that. And Forest Hills, I don't know what that was all about. I know there was people running on the stage, and there were people on the stage running to get them off the stage, but you just get oblivious to all that kind of stuff after a period of time. You just don't even see it anymore. It's just whatever happens is happening out there. You can see it, but it doesn't seem to register really. I've played in front of 200,000 people and have seen all kinds of things which, happening right before my eyes, that many thousands of people are doing. They can't see it because they're all in the crowd, but if you're up on the stage, you can look out and see all sorts of things going on. And it's just, the way people behave, I guess,
We'd say that maybe that the legendary furor that was raised at that time was really more figment of some journalists' imaginations? No,
it wasn't a figment of anybody's journalism. It happened. What they reported happened to be happening did happen, but sometimes, they might just exploit one side of it rather than the other. Like, I've never really looked at this as being my career. I don't really consider it a job. It's my life. I just play guitar, and I like to do that kind of thing. And that when people don't want when they don't want to hear from me anymore, they just they won't show up, and I'll know that I'll be just as happy doing something else.
Well, 20 years is quite a while to have messed around with a hobby and made a good living in it.
Yeah, I've never looked at it as a hobby, though. It's never been a hobby for me. It's always been a very important. It's always been everything but a hobby, really. It's been, how it is when you're coming up. If you have a guitar, you can always eat and find love and all those important things in life which we're all looking for, And that's all it's ever been to me. It's just been a way to get around, and it pulled me out of oh, God knows what it would have pulled me out of. I don't know what I've been doing. I guess working in the mines or something like that, you know?
Yeah, up in Minnesota.
Yeah, but it's just allowed me to get out of there. And I'm still doing it because people still come to the shows. If they don't come to the shows, I can't really say that I'd be just as happy doing something else because I don't know what that something else would be. But when they stop showing up would be the time I stopped doing it.
The kind of things that you were thinking about that you wanted to have happen when you went to New York the first time back in 1960 or 61?
Well, the biggest difference is that at that period of time and now is that there was some kind of community at that time across the whole United States, as I remember, but it was very strong type of community. There was a communal spirit or something like that going that you felt a part of. Whereas I don't know if that exists in that way today.
Yeah, if it is, it seems like it might be a lot more diffused than it once was. But I know what you're talking about. Eric Anderson and Phil Oakes and all those people. There was kind of a center of energy there for.
There were just a lot of people there who would come from different places, just like I had, and met up in New York. There were just all kinds of people. And then, of course, same thing was happening in Europe at that time too, because I'd been there a few times. And there were the same type of people and doing the same type of things.
Did you think that being successful would be recording an album?
No. It was just one of the unfortunate things for me that I had been recorded by John Hammond at Columbia Records. The labels that I wanted to record on wouldn't have me. I'd been refused by a bunch of other labels who, come. They see you around in town working here and there. And the labels at that time were
Vanguard.
Folk singers only record like on Tradition Records or Verve, jazz and folk music records. No one would even dream of somebody like myself being recorded by a major label like RCA or Columbia Records at the time, Capitol Records. It was just one of the things I walked into, and it changed a lot for me and a lot for a whole lot of other people too.
How has your approach to songwriting changed over the years? Are you as prolific as you used to be?
No, I can't say I am. As there were a few years there when I turned out a lot of stuff because I was really committed to it and really involved with it in an extreme way. I'm not too prolific nowadays. I'll write something if I just feel like I must write it because it's just a line which comes to me which I'll have to finish. Something will come to me, a song will come to me while I'm playing another song even, and I'll just have to finish that song. I'll need that for something.
Yeah. What kind of emotions does it take for you to move you to do it at this point?
My best songs I write real quick. My best songs I've probably written in 5 minutes. All of them, the ones that I consider my best songs. Some of the ones I've labored over, I don't like to do that, and then I'm never really satisfied with them. But my best songs, they come real fast, and I'll just be playing them, and they'll just all be there, and I'll just have to get them down on paper or something. I hope I can memorize it if I don't have a pencil.
Do you have any favorite songs or any favorite albums that you would like to be remembered by?
I hardly ever listen to my albums. I never hear them. Once they're made, I seldom ever come across them anymore. I never keep them in the house. I don't like to hear them when, I just don't listen to them. But before they're made, I listen to them a lot. And I'm kind of not in touch with a whole bunch of ones from the early years because there's so many, and the songs I remember off of them are the ones that I sing in the shows. If somebody was to call out, sometimes people have called out for certain songs, and I've had to, sometimes I haven't remembered the words to them,
Yeah, I could see that would be a problem. How do you see your role in, say, in the lives of somebody who is 30 years old, and the first music they listen to is you?
My thing, what I do, is a development of all the styles I've ever heard in my life. And it's always been that way. and it's just a. I mean, I still play just the same old way that I ever have. I haven't really managed to come up with any real tricky things, or it's basically and very, very simple. It's just a combination of a couple of different kinds of music, and I've always wanted to tell people, you know, hey, whatever you're listening to in my music, or whatever you're hearing, here's where I got it from. You can put it all together yourself. Well, it hasn't all been musical because some of it's been, some different poets in the old days did really catch my attention, you know, and there's certain other different writers. There were so many people back then that it was all going by so fast too that I managed to get free in a time when I was as surprised as anybody else was. You know, it was like I was doing one thing, and then this would lead me into another thing so fast that the old thing hadn't gotten to be a chance to be even digested yet.
I see.
You know, and it all happened real quick, and all of a sudden I was doing things that no one had ever done before, and I knew it. I mean, when we were doing those albums, I knew no one had ever done them kind of things before, and it was too much to even comprehend. It was, you know, I couldn't handle it actually. When I was working, I was touring most of the time and living in hotels the other part of the time and making records the rest of the time, and it all become rather
a blur.
Yeah, just real fast. You know, it was just going by so quickly. And as far as the people that wanted to associate me with any kind of movement, I think they were just kind of, I don't know where that kind of talk came from. I mean, singers never were part of any kind of movement. They never were the spokesman. I mean, anybody knows that who was back then. I used to go to all kinds of, you know, meetings and things like that, or organizations, or different, you know, when you'll sing anywhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're starting out, if somebody says, come sing here, come sing there, well, you go there and you'll sing there, and you may get a place to stay, or somebody will feed you. That's the way it was back then. You know, and there was never a whole lot of money to be made out of music. Like nowadays, kids buys a guitar and right away he'll think, I mean, I know young kids that do that. They'll think that's the way they're going to earn their living.
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell them that ain't the way, you know, that very few people ever get to earn their living. And if you can earn your living playing your music, well, even that, you could just leave it right there and call yourself successful because there's so many people that can't.
Yeah.
The people that wanted to put me in front of any kind of politic game, well, those people were just irresponsible. They were just looking for somebody to take a fall, you know, someone who they could point to and hold up as some kind of a leader, you know. Powerful people remain always behind the scenes. Yeah. You know, so everybody's looking for somebody to put up there. And no, I never was, you know, into being up there as any kind of spokesman. I don't know nothing about politics. You know, if I'd come up with any kind of ideas or something, I would have run for Congress or something.